Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Season 8, Tier 3, Round 3, Imola. Where's my sound at? There we go. Alright. Let's get everything set up here. So, they haven't raced in about a week or so since Jeddah. Obviously, last week Tier 3 had a little bit of connection issues trying to get into the lobby and never ended up going with Australia. So, with that being scheduled on for a later date, this is round 3, but only the second race of the season for Tier 3, so it'll be interesting to see how everything shakes up after a very dominant performance by Ferrari at Jeddah. A lot of people coming out on the track so far. It'll be interesting to see what the first lap is set and what the pace is going to be tonight. Tier 2 had a wet qualifying last night, so not really any comparatives in the same measure, at least when it comes to assists, with Tier 1 being a no assist league. Go ahead and pull it up on my phone so I can see the comments as well and respond to y'all as y'all. Pull it up on my phone so I can... There we go. Erase that. Okay. Let's go. Spot up putting in a fastest first sector. With looks like Mario starting his lap as well. Oh, as he spins it. Hopefully there's no damage and he can just take this lap to maintain the tires, get a little more battery, and pick it up next lap. Spot up. Nah, not a bad run through the chicane there. Did ooh, Terminal running a 120 run to go on provisional pole. Yep, AG backed out of his lap. Let's see. Ooh. Spot up starting the 119s with Northern Canuck following with a 119.5. Let's see, who is that? GP coming around? No, who is that? I need a little more familiar tonight. It's King Barnes going into the 118s. Oh, King Barnes, oh, sorry. Yep. So Mario going for his hot lap now with Dutch, the reserve driver tonight, also going into the 118s. GP going into the 118s as well. Huh. It's going to be a very interesting qualifying session. Mario putting in the fastest first sector. Coming through Aquamina Raleigh. Runs the fastest sector 2. I think it's safe to say if he nails sector 3 like he's nailed sector 1 and 2, he's going to be on provisional pole here. Say, unfortunately, we can't let you race on tier 3. And Mario on provisional pole into the 117 is almost a whole second faster than the previous provisional pole. So GP coming through, goes second, only 4/10 behind Mario. Let's see, is that Private starting his lap? Yes. He's got AG behind him also starting his lap. And Gunner's on his either aborted first lap or out lap. No, probably aborted first lap there. It's like GP is probably his end lap. Same with Mario. Looking for Gunner to probably push after this. Veslo coming out, I think with Northern Canuck as well. Excuse the dog in the background. Private comes down the hill. And it on the main straight, a very clean exit there. And puts himself on provisional pole with a 117.1, 3/10 faster than Mario. Looks like with everyone running consistently, the track is evolving steadily here. Gunner in 4th so far, probably on another hot lap here. I wouldn't. Let's see. No, I don't think he's going to be on a hot lap here. Yeah, he's got the batteries and everything. GP into the pits. Private's off. Veslo about to start his lap here. Northern Canuck hoping to get a decent tow off of him, it seems. And go ahead and watch these two. We're a little closer than you would expect. He can make a mistake, and you're right there. It's a little risky, but high risk, high reward when it comes to the straights and everywhere that it rewards low downforce. A 2-second gap so far in the field. It'll be interesting how that plays out going on, and if how many runs everyone's going to go for, and if anyone's going to save one or more pairs for the softs. Very, very clean through Aquamina Rally. Got a good exit there. See how he comes through the chicane. A little curb on the exit, but not too much. Very quick at Jetta, so let's see what he puts down here. Second splits Private and Mario with a 117.3. I believe stays where he was at. I did not see if he improved, but I would assume so. Mario on his out lap, hoping to probably take provisional pole back. A spot up on his lap, it looks. Let's see what he puts down here. No, he might have backed out. Let's check his telemetry. Nope, I think he's going for his lap here. Yep, I believe that's him starting his hot lap here. Very good exit. Yeah, I'll just keep that up at the bottom so I don't have to guess anymore. Just double check what we got saying here. Let's see who. I know we have 2 reserves. There's Dutch and that's right. So the Red Bull pairing tonight are 2 reserve drivers. Spot up with the fastest second sector there. Let's see what he puts down here with a decent exit there. DRS opens up. Goes 4th into the 117s above GP. Very, very good lap by the Haas driver there. It's like Gunnar is also on his push lap here. See what he says. Mario wanted a provisional pole into the 116s there. Let's see what the gap is so far with 4 seconds between 1st and 10th and 7/10 separating the podium contenders here. With 2nd through 5th in the 117s and 6th through 8th in the 118s. Coxie is yet to put a lap down, with Gunnar putting down a fastest sector 2 there. Let's see what he puts down here, if he nails sector 3. Again, coming down the main straight. DRS opening. What's he put down? And he locks out the front row in the 116s with Mario there with a 116.8. Looks like Veslow's coming out, hopefully to improve his time. Spot up, I believe, coming into the pits. Yep. GP on his lap now, or yeah, I'd say he's probably on his lap here. See what he improves by. Fastest sector 2 there. The track is definitely ramping up here at the end of the session. Coming to the end of the session, I should say. He does not improve there. See a private pulling into the pits there. I believe Gunnar following him as well. Veslo warming up his tires to go for his run here. With King coming out as well. Northern hoping to improve on his next lap here. Spot up coming immediately out of the pits again. Well, let's see what the 5 drivers that are now on track can do. maybe a little late on mentioning this, but Coxie up to 7th with a 1:18.2. Tesla getting through there very nicely. I believe that's going to be GP and Mario in front of him. Nope. Terminal. Yep. Ooh, who is that? King Bartos out of the session. Crashing coming out of the last corner. Tesla getting through Aquaman Rally very nicely there and setting his fastest sector too. Seems to be a very common case on everybody tonight. Getting one heck of a tow there from Terminal. He's gonna love that coming out of the last corner here. GRS opening up. And that's gonna put him... He did not improve. Huh. Both the Ferraris getting off track out of the way there. Wonder if he's pushing again here. It definitely looks like it. Well, it looks like GP crashing out as well. Coxie out, or nope, Coxie retired in the pits. What is going on here in this qualifying session? Is that Fieslo out too? I believe that is. Wow. Very surprising here. So I say it's, unless Private has anything to say about it, I guarantee this is going to be a Ferrari lockout for 1 and 2 here. But Private hasn't put all too many laps down yet, so we'll see what he can do and if he can split the Ferraris, if not, and take provisional pole. Looks like Ferrari being, Gunner being the lead car here for Ferrari, giving Mario a tow. Playing the team game, with Spot Up also trying to get another lap in. Looks like Northern retired in the pits. Just kind of preserving himself for the race, it looks. Dutch putting the final time down of 1:18.8. Private looks like he's flying out of sector 2 right now. A lot of curb on entry, but not too much on exit. Coming down the hill. Sorry, I'm not all too familiar with all the corner names yet. Sets himself up nicely on the exit there. Coming around the line and improves, but not enough. Staying 3rd and on the 2nd row of the grid with a fastest sector 3. Spot Up staying 5th. Let's see what the Ferraris can do here. Is Gunner going to take it from Mario, or are they going to stay where they're at? That's for 2nd. Oh, looks like it stays where they're at. Mario on provisional pole. Gunner on 2nd. Ferrari locking out the front row here. Making a very strong push to set themselves up nicely for the constructors fight. Coxie only putting 1 lap down. Well, I will be back in just a second. Alright, and as it stands and stays with Tier 1 and Tier 2 as well, there is no formation lap here in Tier 3, so the drivers will be off with cold tires, and we'll see here in a second what everything looks like. The 5 red lights, and they're off. The 1 stop expected unless safety cars create a 2 stop. Private getting a good start there. Oh, we got something going on in the back there. With AG3 out. Oh, looks like that's GP out as well. Well, not out, but just stuck in the gravel trap right now with Gunner Will taking the lead. Private doing very well in second there with a safety car, I believe. I will get everything set up now to check. With everyone starting on the mediums except for Terminal here. Terminal looking to go for the 2 stop. And GP losing 5 spots. Mario falling from 1st to 4th. Dutch gaining 2 and Northern gaining 2 as well. Private putting himself from 3rd to 2nd. Get rid of that. I still can't tell. So, off the bat, the safety car, lap 1. And we'll see what the incidents bring from there, with the captain joining just slightly too late here to be able to make it in. GP coming into the pits to replace damage and more than likely go into the hard tire here. With the predicted stop strategy between lap 14 to 18 for most of these runners, and between lap 6 to 9 for Terminal on the softs there. Coming up through the field here, reserve drivers putting themselves in 7th and 8th respectively, not too bad. Coxey up to 6th, Spot up in 5th, maintaining it. You know, Mario back where I had mentioned before in 4th place. Feslo getting his tires nice and warm. Private in 2nd, and as I stated, Gunner in the lead here. If GP catches up by the end of this lap, I'm sure it'll come in. If everything is set up as it was last night, with catching up to the back of the grid at right where, if you look at where it marks sector 3, the yellow dot was, me and O'Bradley caught it right there, and the safety car came in. Which, I doubt that, and it looks like it'll be another lap of safety car here. GP on the softs here, I did not expect that. Go back to tires. I'm surprised he didn't put the hards on. I guess he's... oh! What happened here? Does he... I wonder what went on. Looks like he's boxing for the mediums again. Figured it's under safety car, why not? He'll catch up anyways. Well, I don't know what that feels like. Not a bad call. He was already in last as it was. It's not going to hurt him to take another pit and be on the same tire as everyone else and save a lap as it is, actually. Granted, they're going to be cold and have to go through another heat cycle, and it may wear them down just a little bit more, if not the same amount, but definitely the right strategy call to get off of the softs there, because they were not going to last as long as they think. They can run 10 to 12 laps, but I'd only say about 6 to 8 of them they have enough pace to really compete with the mediums, but after about 7, 8 laps, those mediums are really going to show the pace difference. Let's see what goes. I believe it's going to be another lap if Gunner doesn't start backing off here. I believe GP is a little too far back and call it in just yet. Yep, gonna be another lap on the safety car here. So 3 out of the first 4 laps under safety car here. Well, 3.5. I bet you all these drivers cannot wait to get racing here. So expect a possibly messy restart, if not a very clean one where they may separate a little more than they want to, trying to avoid collisions and make sure another lap 1 incident doesn't come about. With GP catching up to the back of the field here. Again, as I said, I'm really surprised Terminal is on the softs here. I'm surprised he didn't box for the mediums, if not the hards, to be on the same, if not a different, longer lasting strategy, but both the Alpines at the back. Hoping to make up some positions here. GP hoping to fight for the field, hoping to fight through the field. He has the pace to do so, that's for sure. Definitely expect the safety car to come in this lap, and after this chicane, Gunner to probably back the field up here. Well, field backing up here, everybody getting their final preparations, getting their tires warmed up as much as they can. Let's see how it goes. With Gunner getting a nice start here. And Private holding on very nicely, not falling off too much. Everything's staying very tight and consistent at the back. Looks like the Red Bulls might be going at it here. GP past Terminal, and Dutch going off, falling back to last. Mario in the back of Veslo, hoping to get back in the podium fight here. With Gunner pulling away from Private here. Already out of DRS range and building, and it's not even the end of the lap yet. And is that Terminal? Looks like he may have spun, or looks like he doesn't have damage, so he might just have spun it, or there might be an incident report coming out of that. Gunner setting the fastest lap of the race with a 1:26 so far. I think that'll be broken here soon, but we'll stand for now. With Private dancing on the line of DRS here. Veslo goes wide, Mario in third. Double Ferrari podium right now. You can expect Mario to put the pressure on Private here. Private burned through most of his batteries so far. Veslo as well. Spot up Mario and Gunnar holding on to a lot, with Veslo getting back past. Wonder if Mario made a mistake there that I didn't catch. Well, whatever's going on. Another go at it, and both Private and Veslo are now split by more than a second from the person in front. DRS being enabled this lap. Looks like we have a tight little group here in the fight for 6th. Coxey leading that group with King Bartos behind him, GP and Dutch as well. Spot up, running a very consistent race so far, maintaining where he started. Just knowing that he can hold on, not fall too far off, and maintain eyesight and see when they're pitting and pit either overcut, undercut, however he sees fit. Hope to gain some positions in the pits here. Mario, Veslo staying close as expected. Veslo pulling himself back into DRS range here. Private not so lucky and almost out of battery already. Gunnar hardly touching his and setting a fastest sector too. Veslo not getting the best exit there, putting him under pressure from Mario with DRS here, and Mario setting another fastest lap. Around the outside and makes it stick into the corner there. It's like GP and King going at it here. GP holding on very nicely through turn 1 with Veslo spinning it here, dropping all the way back to 9th. What a shame, he was running very well. Mario running the fastest sector 1, probably on position to run another fastest lap here. On the hunt for Private with no one in his way now. Spot up now into 4th. As I said, running a very consistent race. As long as he can hold this pace, he'll be fine to, if lucky, grab a podium here. It's like Veslo not recovering very well and just having some bad tire temperature problems, more than likely after the spin. Dutch up into 9th. GP up into 6th after being in last at the safety car restart. Mario in DRS range now, setting a 1:19.8 as the new fastest lap. Definitely going to be in range later this lap, if not next lap, to make the overtake. Oh, and contact here. That's going to drop him out. If there's not, nope, looks like there's no wing damage, so he may be able to carry on just fine here. And with Private not losing any positions, may not be an incident report out of it, but I would not take my word on that. As I said, Spot Up running a very consistent race here, already up into the podium position. Doesn't need to push too hard and wear the tires down more than need be. Just needs to hold on to Private and hopefully get into DRS range here and just hold on to that gap. He has more battery by a long shot, so he can really just put a little into the exit each corner and keep up and stay in DRS range here. If not, make the overtake and go for P2, and possibly looking very well for that. Coxey and GP may be going at it here into turn 1. GP getting a very nice run on the outside and sealing the deal before the corner is over. Coxie looking to hold on with spot up. Looked like they went too wide there. Spot up trying to pressure Private into a mistake. Just playing in his mirrors. Gunner kind of running unfazed up at the front there now, almost 7 seconds ahead. Spot up falling back and Aqua Minerali. Private getting a good run through there. GP up into 4th, King into 5th. Looks like Coxie might have had a spin. Spot up staying in DRS range. It's just what he needed here. With GP on the hunt to catch up to them, to catch up to the fight for second here. Only 3 seconds behind, but like I said earlier, that 1 lap difference may make a little bit of a pace advantage here. As the commentator curse gets him and he spins on the curb. And Coxie crashes out. Or nope, Coxie retires. Who is that? Who else? Who just spun it there? Is that just... Oh, Veslo's out. That's surprising. Is that a retirement on track, or did he hit the wall? We'll find out later in the steward's room. Spot up now into second here. He's overtaking Private. But he has now lost the majority of his battery advantage, so now it's just going to be a pure pace battle here. How well can Private hold on to the 2 spot up here? Sorry for all the slip-ups. With the new regulations and especially the new mechanics of the game, following has definitely been proven to be a lot easier, and closer racing has definitely come a long way. With Private having just a little bit of a slip-up coming out of the corner there and now falling out of range. Gunner putting himself almost 8 seconds ahead and just pulling away. Mario making his way back with GP falling to 7th. And Dutch going past GP there. A very unlucky and unfortunate day for the Alpine drivers so far. Terminal onto the mediums now, 44, almost 45 seconds back on his own teammate in 8th. Still in the points, but being at the back isn't always the most fun running your own race, knowing that the leader's kind of catching you lap by lap. The reserve driver's not doing too bad. King coming in for the hards here. Dutch and GP still going at it here. Closing the door going into turn 1. Getting a little slippy with GP getting a better exit there. GP falling very nicely, and Dutch goes off again. With both King and Dutch being the only 2 drivers right now with penalties. GP hoping to walk away and start making some of that gap up to Canuck here. Mario slowly eating away at the gap to Private. Private falling off just a little bit from Spot Ups, and Spot Up catching up to Gunner here. Depending on the strategy here, we could have a close race at the end. Depending on how long everyone runs, these medium tires, as I said at the beginning, should run somewhere between 16 to 18 laps based off the forecast. Spot Up almost in the, and now in the 6-second range to Gunner. Kind of teetering that line with 7 seconds. Mario almost in the 1-second range here. With Private ever so slowly falling off of Spot Up. Spot Up running very nicely. Not too aggressive. Not pushing his luck on the curves. Just trying to get through the race very conservatively. Looks like he's trying to build his battery back up after catching up and passing Private, with Private looking to be low, trying to hold on to Spot Up and get away from Mario, with Spot Up coming into the pits, Private following, and Mario as well. So it looks like they're all trying to undercut Gunner here. But Gunner with almost a full battery, he can probably deplete that and isn't going to have to worry about what may happen. Northern staying out. GP is going to stay out. Dutch is going to come in as well. King obviously going to stay out. And Terminal is obviously going to stay out. So let's see a few more laps. Gunner and Northern run. Gunner obviously has had the pace, but as we saw towards the end there, Spot Up was starting to catch up a little bit, as was Private. Or as was Mario, should I say. With the 3 drivers all on cold. Probably not so fun tires now, with Dutch coming out of the pits and going into turn 1 as well. GP coming through and getting out of Aqua Minerale very well. And Gunner coming into the pits here. Believe Canuck is going to follow his lead here, and GP might as well, or GP might go for a hot lap here with how much battery he has. Surprised he didn't do a push lap there to try to keep in the same distance as Gunner here. Spot Up, Private, and Mario all getting by Northern here. Looks like King does as well. King on already heated up tires along with Mario, Private, and Spot Up. Northern's gonna have to push a little harder than he thought coming out of the pits here. GP catching up to Gunner here, and just a little bit of a battery advantage, but Gunner about to have the tire advantage here in a few laps. Can he hold out, or can GP get by before pitting for, or is he gonna hold out? I don't think that's gonna be the right call, to try to hold out and go for the softs. Say within the next 2 or 3 laps he'll probably come in and box, but he's going to use that battery beforehand. I think with them using it now, that might be the indicator it's this lap. With him almost in DRS range here on Gunner. With Mario and Private going at it, and Private falling behind Mario there. Mario on his way to catch Spot Up now with that terminal. Yep, terminal having just a very unfortunate night here. As we saw in Tier 2, the curves were just, and have been, as they've shown tonight as well, very unforgiving to any and all drivers as they've pushed. GP holding on here. Still has the advantage on battery over Gunner, so he's making him push. With Spot Up and Mario about to go at it here in the next lap or so as well. Mario running another fastest sector. Private staying in the mix as well, not falling too far off. DRS opens, gets the speed advantage, and let's see what he does going into turn 1. Gets the move set, going into the braking zone. Now he's on his way to work up to GP and Gunner here. GP falling off just a little bit. The fresher tires starting to show their pace advantage. Let's go ahead and check on where the penalties are at. So more than likely speeding in the pits and track limits for King and Dutch tonight. Gunner is starting to pull away here. Stand corrected. GP starting to fight back. Pulling 4/10 and more cents. Burning some of that battery there. But Gunner getting a very nice exit. Spot Up holding on to Mario. See what he can do. I'm gonna go for the. Just gonna back out of that one. Play it safe and just hold on here. With Canuck starting to catch King, it looks like. GP unable to make up the gap like he was last lap. Let's see if he can have another good sector 3 to make up some time. Mario starting to make some ground on GP. Spot Up not letting up and fighting very hard here, hoping to keep on to a podium fight here. GP gonna pit this lap, or is he gonna stay out for another? With that battery being burnt, he pushes for another one, falling off more and more. I don't think this is gonna be the best idea. I think he should have pitted maybe a lap or two ago. He would have had a better chance to fight through. But I think he's gonna hold out for a few laps and try to go onto the soft tire. And hope that pace advantage is enough on the hards, but I don't think it's going to be the best of calls after 6 or 7 laps, depending on how long he's going to be on them and how many laps he plans on doing. Mario eating away at the time. Spot Up holding up very, very nicely and putting up a very good performance for Haas tonight. With Northern getting past King, as I said, what's going to happen? Oh, King spun. And it does not look like he has wing damage, but his teammate is now catching up and may be in the mix for a little bit of a fight here. Private hoping to catch back up. If not, still a very solid finishing position in 5th. With GP spinning it on the worn medium tires. Pushing a little too hard, trying not to lose that gap to Mario, I bet. But I assume, yep, he's going to come into the pits. See what he goes for. Or is Spot Up going to go for a move here? I don't think he has the battery for it. But as I guess, the soft's going on for GP here. He's hoping the pace advantage is going to be enough to catch up to Canuck and get past the Red Bulls. And hope for a top 5 finish, I assume. And kind of wrap it up for a decent double points finish for Alpine today. Private, almost out of battery, Spot Up as well. Mario as well, and Gunner, surprisingly low. I guess he was trying to get away from GP as much as he could before, or I guess he's trying to build up a gap away from Mario before Mario got into the fresh air, knowing that he had a few tenths in qualifying. But other than that, Gunner having a very dominant performance in first, being mainly so far untouched, with a 1-2 looking inevitable in the bag if no safety cars or any other incidents happen. Spot Up coming a very, very solid performance in 3rd. Private holding on very nicely to keep a gap to 5th with Northern there. Dutch building a little past GP, and King, I guess, had to pit for softs as well. What did he get a penalty for? Terminal also with a track limits penalty. King serving his 5 seconds, so if he can get within that gap to Terminal, he'll have 8th. Mario not able to get all too much of a chunk out of Gunner so far, all except a few tenths here or there, but nothing all too substantial, with Private getting a 3-second here. That may throw any chance of a podium fight that he had out of the window there. But nonetheless, 4th place will still be a good points finish for Alfa Romeo tonight. Looks like Connor about to let King here soon if he continues his pace. King with a 3-second penalty. Good thing he served that 5-second, or else it would be a date. That leaves 4 drivers on the grid with track limit penalties so far. 2 running the hard, 1 on old mediums, and 1 on softs. Hards, I'm not surprised. They've been a very tricky tire to learn this game throughout all tracks, regardless of them holding the tire temperature fairly well so far. But Gunner getting close, and now lapping King. Very, very unfortunate for the Red Bull driver, but nonetheless, still a points finish, so I don't think it matters all too much for him. I think he'd rather just follow behind and figure out where he can get faster and learn from the guy who has now lapped him. Mario's starting to make up some more time here, getting into the 7-second range. Spot Up falling off just a little bit, but still holding on very nicely. But Ferrari has proved very, very dominant tonight. A front row lockout, Mario falling off and falling back just a little bit from a few costly mistakes, but none all too costly because he fought all the way back up to P2 tonight. I think that Ferrari couldn't ask for a better finish if this is the finishing order. GP not making up all too much time to that gap to Dutch here. I don't think that soft strategy is really going to pay off as much as it looked like it did last night, but with only one safety car, I really don't think the softs were the best choice. I do think the one stop as the top six, or the top six have proved, is the better strategy. Just pull them all away fairly well. GP may have me eat my words here in the next couple laps as he's taking a few tenths, but as I said, I think within a few laps those hard tires of Dutch's are going to show through and going to show why the rest of the grid kind of stuck with that one stop. Nonetheless, he had a very, very solid stint getting all the way up to second on those mediums and keeping it all the way well up into the end of that 18th lap right before I assume he was going to come into the pits. And if he hadn't have spun, I think he'd be in a much, much better position and in a better place to try to fight for 5th, and if not be fighting for 6th right now. But like I said, I believe it probably would have been 5th here. But regardless, Mario's starting to fall off just a little bit. I think realizing that not pushing right now may be the better strategy call and wait until a little bit later in the race to catch that time back up. Wait till he gets to King there and get some DRS and then start pushing a little bit harder. Spot up falling off a little bit. Private catching just ever so slightly, but gap's not changing on too much. I don't think he has all too much to worry about right now. Everyone's kind of just running their own race, trying to be consistent, get through every corner very cleanly, not push it too hard, not eat too much curb, not too much throttle, just finish the race right now. Guaranteed points if you don't DNF. Guaranteed. Regardless of penalties, regardless of what call, everyone gets points tonight. With King coming into the pits, more than likely to get off of those softs onto another pair. Maybe for a fastest lap attempt here. But it takes any and all worry off of Terminal for any fight for 8th there. GP starting to close just a little bit more on Dutch here. Spot up coming out of Aquamina Raleigh. Getting to the chicane very nicely. Not losing too much time on the exit there. Gaining some actually. Starting to try to pick up on where Gunner's a little bit faster than Mario. Mario will pick up a few tenths here, and Gunner will take those few tenths back there. And there's the safety car. It'll be a very, very interesting fight, but from the looks of it, it's not going to be one. anything, like I said, unless someone has an incident. There's really nothing close, so I don't think there's going to be another racing incident. I think everyone's just ready to get these next 4 or 5 laps done. Mario having just a little bit of a battery advantage over Gunner, and Spot Up having just a little bit more over him. Northern having that on private. GP has a little bit of an advantage on Dutch. And King has the Mustang battery. So as I said, I think he might be trying to go for a fastest lap attempt here next lap or so. Just drain that battery, try to catch up as much as he can. Not too far. Gunner just running up at the front. As I said earlier, very unbothered, unfazed, just very consistent, strong performance at the front. Mario, very nice fight back after a mistake or two. Finishing up very nicely for Ferrari. Spot Up. A very nice drive tonight. Private has been very well off as well. Not making too many mistakes, just making sure to keep everything under control, not fall too far back, not let everything fall off too much, and just maintain what you got. Northern kind of running his own race there. Very solid performance in the P5 tonight. Dutch doing a very good job of reserving as well. GP a little unlucky, but it's made up a good bit of time here. I don't know if he'll be able to get those 4.5 seconds unless Dutch makes a mistake here in the next 2 laps, but nothing's impossible. I was about to say, why aren't we watching GP when I'm on it? Mario making up some time there. Pulling away from Spot Up. And Gunner making that time right back. So Mario seems to be much stronger in Sector 1. Gunner seems to be a little stronger through Sector 2. And then Mario makes it back up in Sector 3. Wonder if Mario's having grip problems here after he's falling off. About a whole second here this lap. Do you have any wing damage? No, it doesn't look like it. So I wonder if he's just a little overheating there. Spot Up making a little bit of time to Mario there. Private making up some time as well. GP keeping it interesting and making it very close to making me eat my words from earlier here. Get back up to the front here. Private making up the second half a lap. Spot Up being in vision, you know, he's trying to push extra hard to try to get in that podium spot here. Even if it is just finishing on track, regardless, finishing on the podium always feels good. Gunner might possibly be lapping terminal here. GP making it into the 2-second gap. That's it as he comes around for Aqua Minerale for the last time. Very nice exit, using up all his battery here. Setting the fastest set to 2. I wonder if he's trying to get the fastest lap. Trying to get that extra point and nudge himself past Mario here. And that settles it. Ferrari wins the race. Gunnar comes home to win it. Terminal comes home 8th. And so 1-2 with Mario finishing 2nd. Spot Up coming around with a very, very solid performance tonight, finishing 3rd. Private making up some good time and finishing very well as well in 4th tonight. Comes Northern. Very, very solid drive in 5th. I think that's King who comes across as well. Kind of unlucky tonight, but still finished well. Did what he could and did not have a bad race. Dutch comes across the line and GP made it very interesting there. Almost getting by. Getting within almost a second and a half there. But Dutch having a good drive as a reserve, finishing 7th. I think GP might got him with the penalties there, but I am not 100% sure. But a good drive on Ferrari tonight and a good performance from the Haas driver as well. And I will get them here for interviews in just a second and go through the race director as well. Yep, so good on GP for going on the softs there. Actually made me eat my words. With Dutch having the 3-second and GP not pulling any penalties there, he got 6th and finished well. Good on him. Wait for P1 and P3 to get in as well. There's, okay, so we got P1 and 2, and I just added P3, so wait for Spot Up to get in as well, and there we go. So that's the podium, guys. Who do y'all want to start off with?
I mean, you can start with whoever you want.
Okay, we'll start with P3. Spot Up. That was one heck of a drive and much needed points for the Haas drivers. How do you feel about tonight?
Is my voice being shared right now? Sorry.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. That was awesome. This is the first time I've ever podiumed in anything in ZOR. So, first season that I've ran, the Ferraris were really, really fast. That was the best race I could run. One thing that really helped me was I honestly just hung on to Mario and used the RS to build a gap up to private. So yeah, super happy with no mistakes. I don't think I even got a exceeding track limit warning, so very happy with the race.
Yeah, it was very consistent. You looked very composed. Didn't ever push too much on the curves. Didn't ever really. I didn't see one time where you lost the rear or even pushed the rear coming out of a corner. And as you even mentioned, you did very well holding on to Mario there to build up that gap to private. And again, great drive tonight, man.
Thank you. Very much appreciate it. Congratulations to Ferrari, Gunnar, and Mario. Great drive from both of you guys.
Thanks, man. Nice race yourself, too.
Thanks.
And on to P2 Mario. How do you feel about tonight, man?
No, it was an interesting race, to say the least. Ferrari pickers 2 for 2 this season on not fixing my wing, so I'll thank them for being the strategists, the same people as in real life, I think.
Yeah, they didn't really help y'all there.
It was interesting. No, I had an incident with private. I figured he probably just lost it a little bit out of the corner. I wasn't expecting it to hit him. It's all good, but it would have been helpful if I got the wing fixed. So I drove the rest of the race with like yellow on one half. But, still a good result. I felt like I had to face the challenge at the front, but it is what it is.
Yeah, you had a very good fight back through the field, and I could tell you were a little bit quicker through Sector 1 and the back half of Sector 3, but he got you a little bit through Sector 2, and I think that's where the wing damage came into play.
Yeah, I think so. It was that uphill right-hander, and then the chicane after that was just brutal. Like, I think that was the thing as well, for spot up. Like, I try to get him out of the DRS from behind me, and then like every time in those 2 turns he'd make it back, and I was using all of my ERS to try to get out of it. I couldn't break it for so long. I was like, I'm gonna run out of ERS and he's gonna get me eventually here, but I luckily, like, 1 lap I got it, and then from there on it was a bit smoother sailing.
Yeah,
But,
once
he had a
you
great
broke
race
it.
too, and same with Gunnar, so congratulations
Yeah,
to both of them on the nice podium.
again, congrats to you, man. Good drive, and on to Gunner. That was a very solid and kind of untouched race up at the front.
Yeah, I mean, I guess 2 races in a row to start the season. I got lucky with my super fast teammate collecting a little bit of unfortunate damage there, so I gotta take it when I can get it because I know he's gonna be fast and he's gonna have his days. But another good points all for Ferrari. We'll keep that constructors lead going, and yeah, I mean, good start. I didn't expect to get that kind of start off of him. I looked over to the side and kind of saw myself pulling ahead. I was like, all right, well, we'll see how long we can keep this thing in the lead. And he ran into a little bit of trouble, it looks like. So I was able to just kind of maintain that gap, not push too hard, and walk this thing home.
Yeah, I noticed right before you pulled into the pits when you had a GP behind you, had a good bit of battery. How did you feel when he was starting to press you a little bit there?
Yeah, I came out of the pits and I saw GP was still in the mediums. And I was like, wait a second, did he pit and go to mediums? And it took me a second to register what was going on. But yeah, I saw him trying to get to that DRS point, and I knew if he got to the DRS point, he was going to have a pretty good shot, maybe for at least a couple laps. So I kept him out of there, used a little bit of battery for a couple laps to kind of keep him in that like 1.2 to 1.5 range, and then from there, once he pit, then I was just kind of managing the gap, keeping an eye on Mario, because even with that wing damage, he was still fast. So a lot of fun tonight, though.
Yeah, it was a very interesting race to watch, and again, very good drive from all 3 of you, and I think that'll conclude it tonight if y'all don't have anything else.
Yeah, for sure. Good race from teammate Mario again. Looks like we're making this thing happen. Also, nice work from Triples too. This first podium too. Looks good.
Yep, again, congrats, Triples, and that'll commence tonight's race, and we'll catch you guys on Monday